welcome back to our next lab session. Today we are going to prepare the muffin. First of all, you have to sieve your flour and the baking powder put aside, and in the mixing bowl please dump in your fat. Now I'm going to use the shortening, and I will mix this shortening with sugar. So this is what we call the creaming method, where we cream the butter or the shortening together with the sugar until it turns into a creamy like texture. And this technique is very popular if you are about to prepare your muffin and also your cake. And then put the mixing bowl in its place. Please be sure that you use the correct mixing tool, which is the pedal, and start mixing it with a low speed. Alright, as you can see, the sugar will be mixed together, melted together with the shortening, and it will transform into a smooth, creamy texture, and that will impart the final taste and also color of your muffin. In this case, if you use butter instead of shortening, you see that the final muffin will have a nice look with a slightly yellowish color, and also the texture is gonna be maybe not as smooth as shortening, because butter is quite harsh compared to shortening when it comes to the final texture, but it do give good taste because butter has some salty parts, where in the production the butter is incorporated with salt, so it will give a slightly nice salty taste. Now you put your eggs in the batter, mix them together. To avoid the eggy taste or the unpleasant taste, you can use some essence vanilla, drop in some 2 or 3 drops to eliminate the unpleasant taste of egg. And also finally, you dump in your water inside the batter and keep on mixing it until all of the ingredients are mixed up together. Now remove the mixing bowl and then clean up the pedal. What we are going to do now is we are going to fold in the flour which we have sieved it before. Alright. So it's an optional. If you don't want to sieve the flour, it's okay for muffin, but if you are about to prepare a cake, to get a good quality of cake, you have to sieve your dry ingredient, means the flour. Alright, don't forget your salt. Actually, the 3 dry ingredients are sieved together and all into the mixing bowl. In this video, we are going to fold in the flour just to ensure that all of the dry ingredients are wet and blend together, not to over mix it, not to beat them, because over mixing could yield a bad quality of muffin in terms of the texture. Keep on folding in slowly until all the dry ingredients are finished. As you can see over here, the batter is quite soft but not too liquid. where we call it as a drop batter. This kind of batter we can drop into the baking pans. As I mentioned before, please do not overmix, because it will impart some bad quality to your final muffin, like tunneling and also unsmooth texture. Alright, now you can have your baking pans or your paper cups, and we are going to pour in the drop batter in the piping bag, plastic bag, and to pipe it in the paper cup. There are many types of baking pans and also paper cup that you can use for baking your muffin. Typically, standard baking cups measure, as you can see over there, is commonly used for traditional size cupcakes or muffin, 2-inch or 1/4 inch. Fill up the plastic piping bag and make sure you cut off at the end of the tips to allow the batter slowly drop into the baking paper and baking cup. Fill up the paper cup about to half to two-thirds of the cup. Fill it up until two-thirds of the cup. Do not fill up too much, because upon baking you can see that the batter will overflow. It will increase due to the volume will increase due to the baking powder. And then put it in the oven, where you have to preheat your oven first at 180 degrees. So you bake your muffin for about 15 minutes to 20 minutes, and now you can see your muffin rise from two-thirds of the cup. It rises, and you can see the crust loaded on top of it. And when it turns to brown color, bring it out from the oven. So as I mentioned, a good characteristic of muffin should not have the tunneling inside when you cut across the texture the muffin. And the bad muffin has long tunneling effects that you can see it is in the picture on your left, on your right. And that's all. Please go and prepare it at home. Thank you so much for listening, and enjoy.